what ended the colorful Wild West era. The American frontier was full of colors made by different events that happened during the era. It was not always a bed of roses, especially when crimes were happening now and then. At the end of this video, you will discover what small invention led to the extinction of the cowboy's livelihood that marked the end of the Wild West. The Wild West started wild, since people who made their way to the western part did not reach the Wild West as a structured society. Easily said, the Old West was not domesticated. Everything lacks in the place, from the economy, law, healthcare, and basic commodities. During this time, anyone can do whatever they want, as long as they can run away from it. It was a place with different kinds of races and cultures who came together with a common goal: survival after the American Civil War. After the Civil War, most of them picked up the pieces of what was left for them. They lost family members, homes, and jobs. People did every possible way to put food on the table. It did not matter if it came from good or from stealing money from banks or robbing trains and stagecoaches. Some who went home found that their cattle multiplied too much. It was a problem in the beginning. Luckily, after the Civil War, the northern part had no supply left and a big demand for cattle meat was what they need. The ecosystem seems to maintain its balance as one part needs what the other part has. Ranching continued until the late 1800s, and the white settlers were allowed to claim public lands as open range to raise their cattle. In the 1890s, times started to transition, and most of the land became private after many feuds over land ownership. Thus, the barbed wire became widespread after the government passed the Homestead Acts, the act that says anyone can apply as long as they did not take action against the government. They can effectively acquire the land for free if they are willing to farm it and have rights to gold if they mine it. With the invention of the barbed wire, the cattle industry weakened. Back then, when barbed wires were not yet invented, the cattle drive was easier because they can just cross from one land to another and the cattle can eat any crop on someone else's farm. It was winter from 1886 to 1887 when thousands of cattle died. Temperatures reached below freezing points in many parts of the Old West. This marks the devastating end of the Wild West, especially for the cowboys. Cattle drives continued, but it was not even half of the scale that was driven before. Most cowboys left their trail life and found new ones on private ranches. Since then, the number of cowboys started to decline as there was not much herd to take care of. In addition, some machinery was modernized. Today, the Wild West remains its colorful history by preserving famous structures that best describe this era. You have just discovered the colorful era of the Wild West. There is more to learn about the Old West. Watch this next video.